Good morning, everybody. It's Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. My head is stuffy. It got cold. Our preparations were not in vain. I am so thankful that we prepared for this. This is summer. This is summer. It's all frosted up on top of the car. All frost. It's cold. It is cold. So we're getting used to the environment here. We're definitely learning to prepare better and learning what to expect based on temperatures in town. So it is 36 degrees in town, and it's about 20 here according to one thermometer. I'll go check another. It's cold. There is frost on the ground. The sun is already burning it off where the sun is on the ground. You can see a little bit greener right there. You see the whiter, a little bit greener where the sun is shining. A little bit white out. I hope our plant survived. I don't want to lose anything. The last frost date is Memorial for this area, and this is the second frost after Memorial that we've had. So I don't know what's going on with the weather, but it's definitely going to be a hard year for growing plants, because even perennial herbs are dying out there in the herb bed. I'm going to look around here, and I will come out later though, and we'll see what happened with the plants. We'll have a look later on. But definitely that's frost on the car. In the window is the best place. It froze. So I'm so happy we prepared. It absolutely froze. And there was no frost warning for our area last night. So we're just getting used to it. We're learning to prepare. I gotta clean those solar panels. There's bugs sticking to them. That was a clear sky. Anyway, I want to get inside where it's warm. So the strawberries, they took some harm, a couple leaves here and there, but the strawberries are pretty tough. They got some red on them. They took a hit, but the strawberries uncovered do okay. Really tough. Our best results this year are with raised beds on the high ground, on the high side of our land, with 3-foot tall angled stakes, almost 4 foot, 3.5 foot tall, with not one but 2 tarps over the top, doubled row of plastic. Nothing here got harmed in this bed, and she even has rice growing. Whether it'll succeed here or not, I don't know. Something's eating them too. But nothing here got harmed. The same thing, double layer of plastic and stakes at an angle over the top, completely covered with 2 thicknesses of plastic in a raised bed with mulch. Again, same result. No harm done to anything except for the sweet potatoes, which are, oh well, nope, I take that back. Tomatoes cannot take it. That was a double row. I think we had around 20 degrees. The beans out here, I don't think we can grow. Something's eating them off again anyway. But some of the beans took a hit. The tomato, I think it'll live. This one here is a little bit better. Tomatoes are sensitive. Sweet potatoes are sensitive. But you can see pretty much everything did okay here. A little bit of wilt on the leaf, but other than that, everything's good. Greenhouse, single layer, completely enclosed, utter destruction. Oh, I didn't think they were hurt. Even the peppers are damaged. I didn't think they were hurt. The tomatoes by the doorway, I think they're gone. I don't know. They're showing worse and worse signs of death throughout the day. I don't think they're going to make it. These up here closer to the door, these 4 are a different tomato, so they did suffer worse. These 4. Also a little sweet potato. I don't think it's going to live. It tried to recover from the last freeze. I don't think it's got anything left in it. I don't know if we're going to have anything left here. This whole top of this tomato is collapsing over. No, nothing was touching this. Nothing has touched it. This one here, it's collapsing over. Look at here. Tops of the tomatoes are breaking down. This one had a baby tomato. All the flowers are gone, and all of the tomatoes that we had are gone. Melanie had some too. I think they're dying. The tomatoes are gone. Same here. Top of the tomato falling over. The tomatoes probably will live, but all of the top sections are dead. I'd say the top half of each tomato plant was destroyed. See, the whole top of this is dying off, and only the bottom branch and a part of this branch is alive. So that took a bad hit. Same with that one. Looks like the top 2/3, only the bottom leaves are surviving. Same over here. Looks like the tops of all the tomatoes are destroyed. This one might be a little better. He's got 2 rows of leaves. I don't know if this chili is going to be okay or not. It's curling up. That's not looking good. Sweet potato, just not. It started growing back, and I don't think it's going to make it. Now, this is a greenhouse, fully enclosed, and total loss. Plastic not touching anything. Total loss. And on this side, I'd call it a total loss because I highly doubt they're going to recover their strength in time to bear fruit. On this side, only one chili plant didn't suffer. Everything else took a hit, except for the kale. The kale doesn't care. So, it was cold. This is summer. This is summer, and the last frost date was 3 weeks ago. Going on 4 weeks ago. 3.5 weeks ago was the last frost date here. And we had a freeze. I wouldn't call it a frost, I'd call it a freeze, because a frost, covering your plants would protect them. In a freeze, you're going to lose them. So we're really experimenting here with different methods, different areas, and different types of plants to see what we can grow. I don't think we can grow tomatoes here. It's too hot in the day and too cold at night, and the plants go into shock. And we have too many freezing nights. I just cannot see that we can grow tomatoes. We can't grow cold weather crops because the days are too hot, and they go into shock or bolt. So we're really going to have to experiment. Kale does well. Doesn't seem to care what you throw at it. So we're learning certain things we can grow. Squash. We cannot grow. We can't grow pumpkins, watermelon, or acorn squash because the growing season for them is too long. Summer squash and zucchini grows like a weed here. We do succeed with them if you can keep them from freezing. Pretty much, I don't think anything else here is going to bear fruit in this bed. I highly doubt anything else will bear fruit. They're alive, but I don't think that anything's going to bear fruit except for the squash. Peppers, same answer. They are a warm-loving plant. The cold puts them into shock. They survived, but we don't generally see a harvest from peppers just because of the shock they go through, even if we cover them. Eggplant, same story. Strawberries, can't count them. Pretty good. There's the cold weather crops. They just bolt and go to seed. You can't grow them here. They bolt. Here, the mustard leaf did well for a while, but then it bolted and went to seed. We had a really good quick crop, but then it bolted and went to seed. So now her tomatoes, we did have double covered out here, raised bed. Took some harm, but they're the healthiest on the property here in the the old greenhouse. But we did have a double air. Swiss chard seems to grow best here. Now we've already had a massive basket full of harvest from our leafy vegetables. Our leafy greens, kale, Swiss chard, and mustard greens do very well here. So we're learning. We have a huge variety of plants this year and a huge variety of planting locations. This greenhouse I will bulldoze next year. I don't know if you can tell how bad that is, but we are in a slope and it's falling apart. It's collapsing in, and there's nothing I can do about that now with all the soil in it. This will be dismantled next year and everything will be moved over to the primary greenhouse area, but we will reuse all the soil and the materials and we can carry on with this type of thing. But the leafy greens are bearing fruit. The cabbage plants did suffer some frost last night because they were exposed, but they're supposed to be able to handle it. But we've never had cabbage either. They just can't make it because it gets too hot for them here. So we have hot days and freezing cold nights. We literally have freezing nights. And out in the sun, one of my cameras shows 110 degrees in the sun in the daytime. So it's like the desert because of the sandy soil. Anyway, by the way, I'm not whining or complaining. I'm just reporting results on experiments, projects, and trying to figure out what grows here. So let me take you on over to the herb bed. By the way, if I'm going to complain about anything, it's about people complaining about me complaining when I'm not complaining. I'm just reporting. It'd be very boring if I got up and said, today was an average day and we did average stuff on an average property with average weather. And, it's next day. Today is an average day, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so, the tomatoes are gone. Absolutely gone. They were undercover and mulched. So I really thought they would survive, but they're gone. There is no way that's going to recover. That's destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. My mint, sweet mint, took a hit, covered, took a big hit. My lime mint took a bad hit, really bad hit, undercover. My catnip, more than 50% is dead. Took a real bad hit, sad because it was flowering out. Tomatoes are gone. Oregano took another hit, killed off some, and that's a perennial. The tomatoes are completely gone. It's undercover, so this wasn't a frost, this was a freeze because my experience being undercover, they would have survived. But this was a freeze. So, let me see. Hold on a second. Somebody's coming down the road. Another one of my mint plants. You are a strawberry mint. Really bad hit. Totally undercover. Took a really bad hit. I'd say more than 50% of the plant is killed. That's sad because I just put that in not long ago. Oh yeah, now that the weather's warming up. Now that wasn't even touching plastic. Those are some squash plants that probably, I don't know if they'll make it or not. They're burnt bad. And more oregano got burnt bad. What is that, orange mint? Surprisingly isn't as bad. So different varieties of mint do better. One of my roses, really bad. And the rest got some dying leaves. That one took the worst of it right there. I don't know why that one. Probably the plastic was doubled there too. So I don't know, we had 2 tarps over here. But yeah, certain mint plants are okay, others are dying. Another form of mint, lemon balm, total annihilation, nothing left of it. There's nothing left at all. And my other mint families of plants, the what do you call it? Variegated, whatever. It's supposed to be beautiful whites and yellows with greens. Got a lot of browns and deads, and the peppermint has got a lot of dead leaves in it. Oregano covered up, all covered. Some of the oregano is burning off again. Tarragon doesn't care at all. But some of the oregano took a hit. The thyme seems to not be too concerned about cold this time around, although it was covered. And here, I did manage to save my little baby mint plants, lemon mint, and I thought there was a skull cat, but it looks more like rosemary or the tarragon. It looks more like rosemary or tarragon. No idea why it looks like that unless they gave me the wrong seeds in the package. My bee balm is just really sad. Really, really sad. So I guess we'll see what happens. A lot of the local plants, natural plants that grew up on their own. Cherry is really looking rough this year. Really, really looking rough. The whole tree is just looking really rough. A lot of the plants are dying. Raspberries, certain parts of them for some odd reason. Some of the plants are dying, others are not. I don't know why. This one got hit 4 or 5 nights ago. This one got hit last night. But only certain parts of certain plants are dying, which is odd. I noticed some of the oak trees have some death in some of the leaves, and some of the newer leaves. They did regrow. Somebody's coming by again. I'm going to pause because it's not somebody that gives me any trouble, so I'm going to keep his privacy. Well, the oaks are hit and miss. I mean, they'll be fine. But they'll be fine. For the most part, they're alright. But you can see that some of the plants out in the wild, that one's pretty rough. That one's really rough. Some of the plants froze. Some of them took a hit. It was a freeze. And that one looks a little rough around the top. There was a freeze last night. I haven't even made it over to my other orchard and see what they look like. The apple just keeps getting hit time after time after time. But for the most part, it's tough. It's making it. It's doing it. This apple is a beautiful tree, and it seems to be surviving. That one's fine. My peaches are just really struggling here. I mean, they keep getting hit. They're alive, but they're struggling. And then the other one here, this is the worst. It's a younger tree. I water it daily, but boy, it keeps getting frozen. This poor thing keeps getting hit bad. I hope it makes it through. I don't know if I should just maybe put a wrap around it for the night times, because it's really taking a bad attack from the cold and the weather. That one's having a hard time. And we'll see how it goes.